Let's talk about FUD. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so FUD. What is FUD? Sounds horrible, doesn't it? FUD. FOMO is bad enough, but FUD sounds pretty bad. Anyway, FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. This is an acronym used in other people in life and other bits and pieces, but of course, as always, we have this parallel that comes in with trading with all of these type of things. So let's talk about what it means to have fear, uncertainty, doubt, and more importantly, how we can fix it. Because we're not here just to define stuff and be an Alexa or Siri against what fear, uncertainty, doubt is. Let's have some fixes. Let's come up with some ideas to eliminate some of these things. Now, we've got a short video, try and do as much as we can, but let's go. So, fear, uncertainty, doubt. Think about times that you have fear. Now, this isn't always what you think it is it? Because sometimes we fear the result of a trade. Like, oh, of course I fear the result of a trade, but sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't want to pull the trigger on the trade because we're worried it'll be a loser. And if it's a losing trade, that's going to give us negative emotions. Maybe we're on a bit of a drawdown already. Maybe performance is not up to standard the standard that we want. And so when we are about to pull the trigger, we're frightened of pulling the trade. We won't say and articulate that we're like, I'm frightened of pulling the trade, but we pause, we wait, we just and that's a little bit of fear coming in. We fear the result because we aren't happy and content with the result, whatever it may be. That's something to deal with. We'll circle back to that in a moment. Okay, so uncertainty. Now, this is trading. You know, trading is just the epitome of uncertainty, right? And quite frankly, if you can't deal with uncertainty or get to a point where you're at least comfortable with it, then trading's probably not the job. It's probably not, if I'm being honest, because that's the whole game. The game is the uncertainty of saying, hey, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm certain about the process, I'm certain about the filters, triggers, etc., 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 but I'm uncertain about the outcome. And having that uncertainty about that is fine, because that's the nature of the market. If we had certainty and we're absolutely certain, we knew what was going to happen, number one, we'd just put all our full net worth, fully leveraged on the trade that we're certain is going to work out fine. But if we were certain and we thought we were certain and we did that, we're going to lose money. So we don't want to have the certainty. There's no need to have certainty. We have certainty in the process up to a point, and then we kind of let the bird fly, so to speak. Off you go, and we don't know whether it's going to get hit by a bus or it's going to go and make a family up in the Scottish Highlands. What an awful analogy, but I think you get the idea. The point is, you have to have that uncertainty, have to be comfortable with it and live with it. We'll talk about this from a trade level perspective in a moment, and doubt. So doubt, trading, doubt the trade's going to work. I'm concerned about my stop. I doubt I can get to the level I want to be as a trader. All this stuff that kind of sits in our mind. The point is, these three together have this perfect storm in our minds and just kind of cause this chaos of poor performance and emotion and all this type of stuff. So how do we deal with some of these things? So fear, we have to get to a point, and you don't have to, but I believe the best way is to get to a point in your trading where you don't care. You don't care about the result. Yes, you care about where you're headed. You care about that direction and where you're going to be next year and 2 years and 5 years. You care about that, but you don't care about what's happening, the outcome of each individual trade. You care that you show up. You care that you do your pre-market prep. You care that you do your journaling routine. You care that you take the right trades. You care that you stick to risk management. You care about the things that you care about and can control, but you don't care about the outcome. You don't care each individual outcome. You have to trust in the process that over time that's going to work out. Now, how long that is going to be, you don't know, but you have to trust in that process. And so the fear starts to dissipate. When the market can't harm you, when you don't care about the outcome, you don't fear the outcome. You know, if you think about things in life that you care about or you don't care about, maybe you're a sports fan. It's not the greatest analogy, but maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I feel bad if we lose. Or maybe if you're playing again, I don't want to lose. But then if it's another sport that you've got no interest in, and two teams you're completely not interested in, you're not going to care. You're not going to care. You might just observe, watch it for fun. So that's not the greatest analogy, but the point is that when you get to the point where you're pulling the trigger in the trade without worrying about the outcome, the fear starts to dissipate, because you don't worry about the outcome of the individual trade. You don't worry how it's going to affect your P&L. You don't worry, this is a key one guys, listen for this one, you don't worry that you think the outcome of that trade is going to trigger you into trading like a madman, trading on tilt, doing extra damage, because we've all been in a situation where we've taken a trade, it's gone against us, and that has been the trigger and the catalyst for a decimated account or a period that follows that's really damaging the account. And that ultimately is a subconscious mind going, I'm a bit frightened, I'm going to go back there, I didn't like that, we had a big drawdown, he felt bad about himself, he was this, he was that, whoa, that's where the fear comes in. So when you get to a point where the outcome is irrelevant, the individual trade, then you have a certain freedom of execution. You have a certain, blasé is not the right word, but it's almost like I've done all I can strictly right to that point, and now, you know, what happens, pull the trigger, see what happens. So eliminating that, and okay, well, we've touched on this, we've touched on a lot of kind of deep topics very, very broadly here, but it's worth considering that if you get to the place in your trading where you don't fear or you're not concerned or you don't care about the outcome of the individual trade, that's a far more powerful place to be, and things like fear will start to dissipate. And also, you know, the uncertainty of the markets, that's why it works. That's why trading's so good, because there is uncertainty. If there was certainty, then everyone who was much higher capitalized than us and much more brain power than us would just get together and would just take all the money out of the markets. But they don't, because they can't, because it isn't solvable. There is uncertainty in it, and that's the key. And that's why you and I can compete on a retail level. That's why we can come in and we can take our little area and take our money and expand in our own little world, and that's plentiful, and we don't have to be swallowed up by people who've got far more capital, far more brain power, all pulling together, because there's uncertainty in there, and our job is to capitalize on the uncertainty. That's, you know, if you flip it on its head, the uncertainty in the market is what makes the opportunity for you and I. Example, market falling through the floor, you're seeing an intraday trader falling through the floor, flushes through lows, uncertainty, people think what's happening, where's it going to go. That's when you read the price action or whatever strategy you're using, and you make your entry whilst it's in the maximum level of uncertainty and make profit from the uncertainty. Now, if everyone was certain the market was going higher, it wouldn't have that flush lower. You wouldn't get the opportunity to get in, and the market would just reprice high immediately straight away, and then that would be the certainty locked in, and it would wait till the next certainty level comes in. So you need to embrace the uncertainty. So on a broader level, this is why we're in business, it's why business works for us, and why we can trade, is the uncertainty. But then embracing it and saying, hey, I need to accept this uncertainty for each individual trade. I need to accept it because that's what makes the market, and that's what's giving me the opportunity. If there wasn't that in there, there wouldn't be the opportunity. And that sometimes helps your brain logically go, okay, there's going to be uncertainty, deal with it, start to accept it. And if you can't accept it, you've got to really work at being able to accept it. But if you get to a point where I just don't like the uncertainty of it, I don't like the outcome of it, I want a guaranteed profit, then, you know, trading's not the avenue for you. It's not, because the uncertainty is what makes it what it is. All right, finally, doubt. So listen guys, and by the way, you know, we all experience all these things at some point in time in our trading. You know, this is not me pointing fingers going, duh, 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 duh. I've been into all these, I'm sure you have. This is the journey of the trader. And so doubt is when, hey, I'm doubting this trade. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Again, it sort of meshes a little bit with this fear. You shouldn't care. You shouldn't care. Almost like well, you know what, maybe it's not going to work, but it's ticking my boxes. I've got on risk manage, I'm going anyway. So it doesn't almost matter. But more importantly, I think the more deep-rooted one is the doubt of achieving the level that you want in trading. And so this is a whole other topic, but, you know, goal setting topic of saying, hey, maybe your target's to hit, I don't know, £5 million or something, and that might be just quite a way off for you. You might be just trying to just get some profitability, in which case you doubt you're going to hit that because you haven't seen the evidence to prove that you can hit that yet. You haven't put 100 grand down, you haven't put 250, you haven't put 5, you haven't put 1 in. And so then the doubts creeps in. So when you scale this back, and we're going off topic slightly, I don't want to spend too much on this because I'm digressing from this post from pillar to post. But when you start to have that goal there and bring the goal a little bit more manageable and say, hey, the process focused, let me just get profitable this month, this quarter, this year, great, tick. All right, that doesn't seem too far away now, because if I can put a decent number now on the board after my first green year, and then I can build on that and build on that and build on that, then maybe that doesn't seem so far away. But when you've got these goals of making huge amounts of money, but you haven't even proven to yourself that you can make a buck, consistently, then the doubt comes in about the effectiveness of your trading plan, the effectiveness of your strategy, the effectiveness of your ability, etc., 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 and it just kind of whirlwinds and swirls around in there. So I've gone off topic a bit with kind of goal setting, but I think that's key, because if you have a process focused approach and you say, hey, one chunk at a time, one thing at a time, let me just get a green quarter in if you haven't got a green quarter yet, let me get a green year in, forget about the money, just get something in there, get the process. Or if you're massively massacring your account, just stop the damage. Stop the damage. So don't want to lose so much so quickly. That's a good first goal. Like if you're losing massive amounts every week, just stop it. Just take it, just less. Let it calm down, and then just put a green week in, a green month, a green quarter, a green, etc. And then once you've got a couple of green years done together, you go, right, I want to get the first 100 grand in, I want to get the first 250, etc., etc. So that, I think, is a better way of approaching it, because that attacks the underlying root of the doubt. The underlying root of the doubt is, I don't really believe that I can get to there because I haven't really proven it to myself yet. Whereas if you dial down some of that stuff, still have the lofty goal, but dial it down to something that's achievable, and then hit it and prove you can hit it and gather momentum, all of a sudden the doubt starts to dissipate, because you've proven that you can hit something, and you go, well, I've proven I can hit these 3 goals, maybe that goal's achievable. Doubt starts to disappear, so it starts to be a bit of a kryptonite for doubt. So anyway, guys, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, big topic really. What have we done? 10 minutes, 12 minutes? Covered it briefly, covered it broadly, but if you like this kind of stuff, appreciate thumbs up. And I'll go into depth about often go into depth with a lot of these kind of things in different videos, different approaches, different tactics. I'm sure that I'll do videos again where we kind of approach things from a different angle, because listen guys, my job, if you like, or the channel's job, if you like, is to kind of recognize the things that are common stumbling blocks for traders. For me, in my career, through my 2 decades now in the market, well, 2 decades a little bit in a couple of weeks actually, recognize that in myself and go, right, the guys on YouTube need help too. The guys on YouTube, it's not going to be bespoke, it's not going to be this, it's not going to be that, but I can say, right, I see this in these people, I've seen it myself, so I can offer a solution you can try. If that doesn't work, then we'll attack it from another angle. If that doesn't work, we'll attack it from another angle. And so that's the kind of job of the channel, if you like, is to have a hurdle, find different videos that attack it from different angles and different strategies and different ways of thinking, jump over that one, and then the next, and then other things and tactics and strategies, maybe get things from other people, and then the next, and the next. And so that's really the kind of the journey of the trade, if you like, and maybe where this channel and some of my videos fit in. Anyway, guys, off on a tangent. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.